Hi, my name is Daisy Fallon Freeman. I'm a fourth grade student at Walton-Verona Elementary School. The Walton-Verona Independent School District is one of the top 10 school districts in the state of Kentucky. At its helm is Superintendent Dr. Matt Baker and the school board, which has the power to levy taxes. This year there are 3 open seats. I interviewed all 7 candidates on the ballot, and here's what they have to say. Why are you running for school board?
I'm running for school board for multiple reasons, but mainly because it's the next level for me. It's the next level of immersing myself within the school, immersing myself in the community, and doing what I can for our students. I've grown up in an education family. I myself have multiple degrees, so does my husband. I have 6 children who have all gone through different Walton-Verona schools as well as private schools. So I have a lot of different perspective that I think I can bring to the school board, but mainly because it is the logical next step from where I am in terms of all of the volunteering and things that I do for the schools.
What do you bring to the table that your opponents do not?
I think that I bring to the table the fact that I am a very transparent person. I answer questions that most people don't like to answer. I share with people very personal things that most people keep private, but I share because I want to help other people. I have found that by sharing, people reach out to me and want to know and want answers. My Facebook page, emails, messages that I've received, have all indicated to me, people have indicated to me that they appreciate so much what I do share with them. As part of my career, I advocate for people. I've done as being a nurse, you have to advocate for your patient, and you have to also be able to communicate. I communicate between patient and doctor. Well, this would be communicating between community and the school administration. That's what this job, both jobs kind of translate certain characteristics that kind of carry over from both. And I feel like I bring a level of being able to communicate what the school is looking for to the community and what the community is looking for from the school. And I think that's a very important role for a school board officer to be able to do, is to be able to communicate that. I've been immersed in the schools. I've been volunteering since my youngest of 6 was in kindergarten, so that's 6 years now that I've been volunteering, whether that's in the classroom, whether that's PTA, PTSA, whether that's doing something in the community, whether that's doing an event at the school, whatever it is, I've been present at the schools, excuse me. And I think that I bring fresh eyes. There's always viewpoints, everybody has their opinions and their views. I think that I bring different viewpoints, just based upon raising 6 kids, and everything that we've gone through raising 6 kids through the school systems, whether that be Walton-Verona schools or whether that be the private schools. So I think that also helps.
What are the most important issues in your race, and how do you plan to address them?
First and foremost, for me, transparency and accountability. Those are top of the list, and I believe they work hand in hand. You have to have transparency. The school board works for the community. They vote the board members into their seats. We have a responsibility to make sure information is getting out there to them. We have a responsibility of listening to them. But we also have a responsibility on the other end as well, which is the school end, taking care of things there. In order to address this, I believe that we need to do more in preparing for the meetings, whether that's having your agendas more detailed. A parent doesn't know if they need to come to this meeting and listen to this item if it just has the line item and it doesn't say what's being discussed there. So agendas need to be more detailed. I think meeting minutes need to be more detailed. Meeting minutes need to reflect what was discussed, not necessarily who said what, but being present at the meeting, I can tell who was saying what, and I can go back out and report that to people. Why can't the meeting minutes reflect that as well? Give us more detail. The community members deserve that in order to stay in the loop, because it is our tax money. That's the reason this school exists. So they deserve to be part of that and have that information. I also am using or looking at fiscal responsibility, okay? Fiscal responsibility. My entire life has been, I've had to be fiscally responsible. I've raised 3 children, my older 3 children, as a single mom. I put myself through school. I have 3 degrees that I have achieved. I got remarried, had 3 more kids, put my husband through school. He lived in Louisville Sunday through Friday. He would come home Friday evenings. I'd go to work Friday and Saturday nights. So you have 2 households. We're maintaining a household apartment in Louisville. We're maintaining a household up here. We're maintaining the oldest going through a private school. And so you learn what you have to do. You learn to coupon. You learn to look for deals. You learn you look for those alternatives that help you keep your kids in all of the activities that they want to do, in the schools that they want to be in, the things that they want to do. You do what you have to do, and that's what I've learned over the years. So being fiscally responsible is a huge part of just how I've lived. No, there's no way around it. And it even continues today, because I work when I feel like I want to work. You know, I spend most of my time in the schools. People actually think I work for the schools, but I, choose to work around my kids' schedules, around my husband's schedules, and that's just how we do it.
Think of Walton-Verona Independent School District 20 years from now. What 3 things must we address now to make it better for our kids of this district?
I think first and foremost, we need to empower our students more. I was just having a conversation with my 10th grader, and I was asking her, do we have a student council at school? Because I don't really ever hear of student council, what they're doing, or who the president is, and she wasn't even sure herself. So what are we doing to empower students? We have sports teams, we have athletic teams, and they have captains. There are some of those teams where those captains really are empowered. But there are other teams where those captains really don't. It's just a title. So we need to do more to empower our students. I believe that we also need to, and I see Walton starting to do this more and more, we need to support whatever the direction students want to go in. So whether that's going on to college, whether that's going on to the military, whether that's going into a trade school, that's what we need to focus on in terms of getting where we want them to be even 20 years from now, because we don't know what the future holds. And third, I think that we already do where we are working in the community, with the community, in terms of being able to help those that need help paying a bill, need help with food, and need clothes. We do that with the school. Okay, we can do a little more of that, I think. And I think it's important to keep building on that as we move through these years and make that relationship between the community and the school a little tighter, a little more connected.
I am an out-of-district student. That means I pay tuition to the school district and the amount of taxes you levy on local residents, but tuition students and their families do not have representation on the school board. What will you do to represent my interests now and in the future?
But KSBA regulations don't allow for actual representation from out-of-district students. What that means is that you have to live in the community and be able to vote in that community before you could actually have a seat on the board. okay? Now, that doesn't mean you don't have a say or anything like that, because there's also site-based councils at each school where even though you're out of district, you could still hold a parent seat on those councils, where you can have a say at the different schools. So as you move into middle school, say mom wanted to run for a seat there, she could run for a seat there and have her say at that level. For me personally, from what I've seen from the board, once you're paying your tuition, you're signing your contract, but at that point, you're a Walton-Verona student. You are under the same guidelines, and you're looked at the same way as every other student, whether they're in district, out of district, whether they struggle, they don't struggle, whether they're athletes, they're not athletes. You are a Walton-Verona student.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, I think people need to understand we moved out here strictly because of the school district. We were at private schools, and the experiences there were, needless to say, not the best situation for my children. We moved out here, and my older children, two of my older children, started out here in 6th and 7th grade, and I told them we would never move again until the youngest is out of school. Even though my husband works in Louisville, he makes that trek every day for work. We're not moving any closer. We're staying within district until my 5th grader now, till he graduates in 2026. That is something we find we take school very seriously. That's how I grew up. That's how my husband grew up. We have expectations of our children that if they don't want to go to school after high school, they don't have to. But what we do expect is that we keep them where we think they are getting the best education possible and all the opportunities. And Walton-Verona does give that to them and has given that to them. I can speak from the perspective of the two that I had graduate early on. I've developed a lot of personal relationships on all levels, from administration, teachers, parents, students. I have a lot of students that call me Mama Hurles because they see so much of me. I have parents say, "Oh, I thought you worked here," because they see I'm just present. I've been around for 6 years, and I've been involved for 6 years. I'm passionate about the school. I'm passionate about what goes on. I want to take that passion and I want to carry it to the next level, and I want to be able to help Walton-Verona continue its tradition of excellence while moving forward and elevating ourselves to a new level. That's what I want for Walton-Verona, for the students here, and that's what I want parents to understand. I'm very much a part of the culture of Walton-Verona, and I want to only see the best for this school district, for each student, no matter their capabilities. I want to see all of them succeed to their highest potential. That's what I want.
Access all my interviews and candidate profiles at my website, DFFrentFocus.com. That's www.dff, like my initials, RENTFOCUS.com. The election is on Tuesday, November 6, 2018. From the Walton-Verona Independent School District, I am your Bearcat Cub reporter, Daisy Fallon Freeman.